So officially, the United States is one of the most compassionate places on earth. It is the land of milk and honey, and people want to go there to have better lives. But at the same time, America is also this evil, fascistic, systemic, racist, misogynistic, homophobic, patriarchal society that oppresses women and minorities. Yeah, it's interesting, like how you manage to like have both of these ideas in the head at the same time. Of course, the second one can be dismantled by voting Democrat. But no, actually, no. Even with Democrats in the office, America is still this fascistic, evil, cisgender, heteronormative. But you still need to vote Democrat for it, right? So let's go to the compassion and the empathy. Yeah, the compassion and the empathy happens at the border. Apparently, people can just walk in, right? Like every single person that walks into a country has the presumption of innocence and is 100% a good asylum seeker. How do we know? Honor system. Yes, honor system. There are no smugglers. No one wants to bring anything into the country illegally. People don't get smuggled. Those things don't exist. I mean, they happen. Like you can see them in the United States, but you can't really talk about how it got there. So this is like the official statement. Doesn't really make sense, does it? Unofficially, however, there are multiple interests in having mass, uncontrolled, and unchecked immigration. I mean, you have people coming all the way from China into the United States. Like, that seems a little bit bizarre, doesn't it? Right? Or when I heard that you have people from Somalia, like, that's a long journey. Like, how do they manage? Well, apparently that's fine, because there must be NGOs that do it. I mean, for me, from Romania, it is financially crippling even to make a visit to the United States, let alone go there. Like, you need a lot of money. You can't just walk from Romania to the US, right? So, like, someone has to pay for that. And the question is whom? But anyway, right, moving past all of these things, what is interesting is, like, why is mass unchecked immigration important? And you have, like, Democrats outright saying it. Like, they say it in public. You can find the videos on Twitter. I think they're even on YouTube. Joe Biden says that he wants it, right? But it's usually like for things like the electoral colleges. Like the more population you have in your home state, the more electoral colleges votes you get. So even if those people don't vote, right? This is why the Democrats were livid when asking a person about their citizenship status on a census was even brought up. There's many other reasons. I don't know if I can say all of them on YouTube. People can speculate as to why, but it is interesting because now it seems to be. I don't even know if I can call it a battle. Okay, a legal dispute. And it seems that the immigrants are the pound pieces. It's like literally human beings used as pound pieces. You have like So they're coming into Texas, and Texas initially tried to do various laws and regulations in order to stop them. Like, for example, having the police arresting people that they suspect they may be illegals. Well, that wasn't okay, right? So, like, the Biden administration says, no, you can't arrest them. And they have to go in. The Biden administration can't control the border. So, like, they're going to come in and you can't arrest them. So Texas goes, okay, well, we're going to bus them to sanctuary cities then. Like, the sanctuary cities want them, right? So they start busing them to New York. They start busing them to Martha's Vineyard, much to the horror of the mainstream media. Like, that was when it actually got in the media. It's like, oh my God, you bust them next to Obama's house. They bus them to Chicago. And it's interesting that both in New York and Chicago, like, you have the mayors starting to sound literally like Donald Trump, like overnight. And they were like, oh, this is a crisis to Chicago. Like, we don't know how we're going to recover from. Because obviously, like, human beings put a lot of strain on the infrastructure, on the facilities. Like, you got to house these people. You got to feed these people. And, resources, as wealthy as America is, are still finite. Like, after one point, you run out. From what I understand, like, they use the high school in order to house some of them. And it's like, okay, well, So you ran out of hotels. No, sorry, you ran out of refugee centers. Then you ran out of hotels. What happens when you run out of high school? Right? Like, there needs to be a number to this. Like, physically speaking, if we're talking about sustainability, the entire population of Earth cannot fit in the United States. Like, can we even have this conversation? Is there like a number, a quota that you can say? It's a, right? I wouldn't be surprised if at one point the NGOs would run out of people that are willing to make the journey. Like, they would probably have to abduct people if they want to keep sending them. Because, like, it doesn't make sense, you know? Like, if you keep sending mass numbers of people, right? Like, eventually you run out. But anyway, right? So Texas goes like, we're going to send them to sanctuary city. I mean, the sanctuary cities want them, right? The sanctuary cities freak out. They start arresting the bus drivers. They're trying to start lawsuits against Texas. The Biden administration steps in. It's like, oh well, Texas, you can't do this. You can't just bus people around. So again, you can't stop them from coming in. You can't ship them out. The solution is to keep them in. Okay, you can't arrest them either. So now Texas is like, all right, well, we're going to send our own people, right? We're going to send our own people to replace the incompetent Biden administration, and we're going to secure the border. Well, it turns out that the Biden administration won't let them do that either, right? So here you have like the Supreme Court of the United States, which is going to listen to the Department of Homeland Security, which apparently has filed an emergency motion to stop Texas from securing the border. I mean, it is so fucking obvious, right? Like it is so obvious that they just want the immigrants to go to Texas, only to Texas, to stay in Texas, in order to try and turn the state purple. Like, why else would they do? Why else would they do it, right? Like, why don't they want them in Chicago? Why don't they want them in New York? Why don't they want them anywhere else? And of course, I'm pretty sure these people are fleeing climate change. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to make an assessment. But the problem is, like, now, you have a crisis, right? Like, Texas is saying no to the federal government, and the federal government is saying, but you must. So we're going to see how much, how deep the governor of Texas is willing to take this. Like, if and I think he does have the support of the people from Texas. So it's going to depend. It's like, who's going to make the first move? Like, they already sent the troopers at the border. I saw that they used barbed wire, that they already started barricading, and that they're preparing themselves to prevent people from entering. But, you know, now you have like the Supreme Court being asked. It's like, well, what do we do? Like, the Department of Homeland Security is like, no, you're not allowed. And even if the Department of Homeland Security manages to get the papers, like, what happened if the Texas governor says, I don't care, I disagree? So it's going to be very interesting to see what's happening in the U.S. in the next couple of months, especially before elections. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.